It has been a fun, long week of picking and refurbishing all of this furniture, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it and show you what we did. So this is Jamie's nephew David, and he and his wife own the Plant Bar AZ. She looks like she does not want to be on camera right now.
That's part of
and he is trimming out this with some old pallet wood I just tore apart.
We'll drop a link to the pallet tearing apart video.
Yeah, I have a video on how I tear apart pallets in about 5 minutes.
So we're working on this countertop. This is going to be the front desk at Plant Bar AZ. It was just plywood underneath this, and we went ahead and it was like that shiny plywood, so we sanded it a little bit. We did 2 coats of high bond primer, 1 coat of beadboard, letting it dry completely in between, and now we're using the barnwood plank stamp and Best Black by Fairy Chalk Mother, and we are laying down the stamp to make it actually look like barnwood. We're doing this for 2 reasons. 1, because we want the barnwood look, but 2, because if we used actual barnwood, it wouldn't be smooth enough for a retail counter.
Alright, so I'm just getting kind of the base down here. I'm going to do a bunch of different planks and things, and then I'll layer it in, and we'll get the different looks with the different kind of stamps with the varying kerf marks.
You want to be random.
Kinda. It's hard for me. I may have gone too random trying to be random. So I'm going to hang this one off just a little bit because this has a line on it. And if you don't want to do the line, don't put paint on there or whatever medium you're using for your stamp.
We'll drop a link below. We have a video where we did an entire desk with a similar finish, and it's got lots of detailed information of the best way to use the IOD plank stamps. If you're looking for a similar look, you can go to jamirayvintage.com. You can find the paint that we used, as well as this IOD barnwood plank stamp. Now I'm adding all the random knots and stuff, the kerf marks, the saw marks, the age, and Zeb's continuing to lay the planks, and we're just kind of tag teaming. Anywhere where you mess up, that's the perfect place for the knot or kerf mark, or even the lines that make them look like individual planks. I always wait to do these till last because you want to make sure they're spaced pretty well and you don't have 2 on top of each other. So now I'm working on the plant bar. This is going to be where the people come up to the plant bar and they can pick pots and succulents and make their own planters here. We're doing a similar finish. I'm just laying down the groundwork of the big stamps, and then I'll come back and do all the planks, the kerf marks, and the knots will come next. Once this is all dry, we'll do about 4 coats of top coat on here just to give it some extra durability so it can be wipeable and get wet with no problem. So now that the stamping is done, I took a 220 hand sanding block and smoothed everything out, removed the dust, and I'm sealing it with Sweet Pickin's top coat and my roller. I'm just rolling this on here, nice, smooth, long, even strokes. I'll let it dry for about 2 hours, and then we'll put on a 2nd coat and a 3rd coat and a 4th coat. We really want this to be durable.
Some of the furniture that we got was fairly inexpensive and cheap. A lot of times when you get really cheap furniture, if it's still around, it needs a lot of repairs. And sometimes it's worth it, and sometimes it's not worth it to repair a chair. We got this little chair for $3.99, and when we're done upholstering the seat and doing the repairs on it that it needs, we'll probably sell it for right around $45. So that's worth it. This chair is in fairly rough shape. It's broken basically at every corner. Someone had already put these metal L brackets on. I'm gonna take them off, pull everything apart, re-glue it. I might add these back on if I need to. If we do, we'll repaint them to match whatever color it is, and they'll be a lot less visible. Alright, so someone had screwed all of these supports in. They're all broken and missing pieces. So I'm gonna do my best to glue them back in. What I'm gonna do to hold them tight while the glue sets is stapled right in here. Someone had screwed it in, and the screw had pushed it out away and made the problem worse. All right, the nails will do a good job of holding that in place while the glue dries, and that should be nice and sturdy again once the glue is finished drying. I didn't bring my clamps from home, but I do have this ratchet strap, so I'm going to use it to kind of pull everything together and keep it square.
I'm just spraying this with cleaner. We'll let it sit and then wipe it down with warm soapy water. It mostly just has like rain and dirt from us transporting it from the Goodwill. But this was $39.95. When it's all finished, it'll be worth about $3.95. It's a huge armoire. It's gonna be beautiful.
Jamie has the start of a blended finish going on this. This is bohemian blue.
Mixed with some beadboard because there was already white on the brush. Okay, so there's already beadboard on my brush, and I'm just painting it with bohemian blue, and I'm just framing it out with this darker color. And then I'm gonna come in and add another color in the middle, and then I will get out my squirt bottle and start blending. So I'm not washing my brush because I want to blend the colors. And I'm coming in the middle with Old 57. This is what I like to call my highlighting color. Started with a dark one, highlight with a highlighter. I'm working with the design of the furniture and just framing what's already there and using the curves that it naturally has. Everything's still wet, and I'm just gonna squirt it down a little bit, just water, and just mist it so that way some of the colors can blend. And then I'm gonna work down here while that drips and does its thing. You kind of just have to let your piece do its thing. I've got this Old 57 left over on my brush, and I'm just squirting it just to thin it out a little bit, and I'm just taking it, adding some splatter, and then hitting it. You gotta make it totally random and let go and just realize that the paint's gonna do its own thing.
Found this globe thrifting. It was $7. We'll probably sell it for about $15. David had this really cool old piece of salvage wood sitting around. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this base off because that's real modern, probably had some sort of book or something that slid in there that went with the globe. But I'm gonna pull that off and then replace it with the cool old wood.
So we're using the iodine knobs, and Zeb's gonna roll on DIY paint in sea glass, and we're going to put it on the knob topper stamp, which is the mandala one. It's kind of a boho look, and we're just gonna roll it on with the brayer here. This is the flexi stamper, and it's what allows you to have good control over the stamp. If you try to just use the knob topper, it does work, but you don't have quite as much control. So we're gonna just use the paint on there. The ink is a little bit cleaner image, but I really wanted this shade, so we're using paint. Ta-da! I hope you enjoyed today's video. It's kind of like everything we could remember to film while crazy. Like when you have 2 days to do this many projects, plus help get the shop ready, not a lot of time to remember to film.
So I know we did kind of a lot of projects that you didn't see on the video of us finishing the things that we picked on Monday. If you have a question about something we finished and we didn't cover it on the video, hit us up in the comments. I probably have a video that I can link you to. We're gonna drop links below for everything we didn't cover that we've done in other videos so that you can see that if you wanna get that technique and that finish.
Stay tuned for close-ups of every project that we completed, and make sure you watch tomorrow's video, March 16th, 2019. We're gonna go live and show you what the shop looks like and really go over our paint display. So if you're somebody who sells in a shop and you need display information, going to be a great video. If you're watching this video not when it originally airs, we'll drop the link to that live video below. If you have a bunch of projects to complete, go to jamirayvintage.com for all the paint and DIY products we used today. Be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe to Jami Ray Vintage for more
DIY.
the subscribe button.